The best healthcare is there in ways big and small. There when we most and least expect it. We may not see it, but we feel it. It lets us know we're not in this alone. Everyone deserves a healthcare partner who never quits. One who's there for what matters. United Healthcare. There for what matters.
Hi, I'm Shaletta Brundage. I'm a media personality, podcaster, and a business owner. But my most important role is mom. 3 of my beautiful kids have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. When I didn't know who to trust or where to turn, I found ACRA. ACRA provides home care services to families all over Minnesota. The care is not one size fits all. They know each one of my kids is unique. They listen to what resources we needed and what's best for our family. I've seen my kids grow and thrive with ACRA's in-home care. While autism is the most common diagnosis among ACRA clients, ACRA offers personalized in-home care services for people with disabilities, chronic illnesses, behavioral diagnosis, and mental illness. They work with children, adolescents, and older folks too. Find out more about ACRA at their website, acrahomecare.org. ACRA helps me provide my kids with a better quality of life. They can do it for your family too.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast. I'm your host, Lambert Fisher, marriage and family therapist and award-winning author on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And for those of you who are interested in even more positive and encouraging tips and strategies beyond what I share in podcasts like this, then feel free to check out my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, nationally recognized for the unique way in which it addresses the often difficult topic of multicultural awareness and diversity, designed for more than just therapists. If you are a helping professional in any way, Diversity in Clinical Practice can help you meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve. And it's available in paper and audiobook versions for your convenience. And whether it be through my one-on-one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author or speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. So today I want to share with you a few encouraging words about celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. So if you weren't aware already, September 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month, a month-long time period during which we nationally recognize the diverse histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens with ancestral roots in Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. For those who are wondering why a Cultural Heritage Month crosses over the middle of 2 months instead of the most common beginning to end of a month, the reason is because September 15th marks the independence from Spain of several Latin American nations: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, with Mexico nearby celebrating as such on September 16th and Chile celebrating it on September 18th. So since you probably wouldn't have to guess, I share first that I don't identify as having a Hispanic background in any way. So what I have to offer on this topic does not come from shared racial or ethnic background. However, as someone committed to helping support and strengthen personal and professional cross-cultural relationships everywhere, I want to use this time to offer a few thoughts and considerations which I've learned from personal and professional cross-cultural interactions of my own that may help you along your journey as well. More specifically, I'll use this limited time to share with you just a couple common practical considerations those whom I've encountered who do identify as having Hispanic ancestry have expressed wishing others understood more often. After that, do with it what you will. Consideration number 1, you don't have to have Hispanic ancestry to acknowledge the historical contributions and experiences of those who do. As I mentioned before, many people fall victim to the internal trap of believing that if they don't know everything, it's best if they say nothing. Unfortunately, this results in many people saying nothing and undesirable assumptions being made about that silence. Instead, it's perfectly reasonable to acknowledge that you may or may not have had a significant amount of personal or professional experiences with individuals from Hispanic heritage during which you could have learned more about things like what it can mean for them individually or as a community, or how many varieties of experiences there are within that community, as their ancestral origins are not all the same. in addition to the variety of celebrations that there might be of that cultural heritage. Instead of counting yourself out as not being worthy of knowing because you don't identify with that group, and instead of assuming the widely believed, well, if you met one, you've met them all mindset, which does not work, I encourage you to make the most of Hispanic Heritage Month as an opportunity to learn new things about new experiences outside of your own. You can always start with an online research effort, as there are many resources available that can provide you a brief overview to get you started, and which you can build upon as you have the opportunities to do so. In addition, there may be someone in your personal professional environment who you might be able to engage with, not as a quiz for personal benefit, burdening them with the responsibility to teach you everything there is to know, but instead offering an emotionally safe invitation to share more of themselves with you if they choose to do so. Something such as, hey, I noticed your new, or at least new to me, lapel pin that reflected a flag I didn't recognize. Is that in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month? If so, do you mind if I at least ask what country it represents? And are you doing anything else to celebrate this month? Again, it's not a quiz to burden them with telling you everything there is to know. Instead, it's an invitation to share what's important to them by showing your desire to know them better individually with a potential impact that can benefit you way beyond. Consideration number 2. Don't single people out in a way that conveys someone else's cultural otherness. Speaking of creating safe spaces for sharing yourself and learning more, many have expressed frustration by experiences that sound like this is the goal, but that feel the exact opposite. One type of experience of this is when someone expresses a desire to be sensitive to one's Hispanic cultural heritage by questioning whether their cultural differences will get in the way of the quote unquote normal way of doing things around the office. This can take the form of questioning whether an alternative documentation or marketing effort in Spanish as well will be required as an inconvenient additional effort, or whether the monthly staff meeting lunch will have to be changed to Mexican food this month, allegedly in order to be culturally sensitive. Efforts like this may seem on the surface to be an attempt to be culturally considerate in the, hey, at least I asked sense. But in effect, it may convey more of an inconvenience than it is to be considerate to the preferences of those who have unique to them past and present life experiences. Again, it's not always the specific words that are spoken as much as the message that's conveyed behind those words. No matter what you say, the goal is to convey a non judgmental openness to creating an environment where everyone feels seen. Their values are respected, even if not shared, and they have the freedom to express as much or as little of their cultural heritage as they would like, just as others in that environment have the freedom to do so. And consideration number 3. Learn to be an ally by helping confront negative stereotypes and biases that might negatively impact those within Hispanic heritage. You don't have to be a historian or an activist in order to keep your ears open for inconsiderate perspectives or beliefs about a colleague or a friend, and to speak up on their behalf to clarify misperceptions and misunderstandings whenever reasonably possible. Sometimes it's as simple as, hey guys, I heard you talking about whether so and so will pressure you into having Mexican food for the next staff meeting because it's Hispanic Heritage Month. Well, first of all, I know him and I can reassure you that while he be open to something like that as a considered gesture, he isn't the type to force or guilt anyone into doing anything. So if that's something you're worried about, don't worry about that. Second of all, he's not Mexican. He's from Cuba. And so not everyone of Hispanic heritage comes from the same country. See, you don't have to be a cultural expert to help someone else reduce their biases and improve their cross-cultural interactions with others. You can even make your desire to help rather than judge even more clear by acknowledging your lack of complete cultural expertise. Expressing something like, I know, I was there once too. I remember when I learned that not every Hispanic person is from Mexico and that Spanish isn't always their first language. For many, that's Portuguese or even other languages. I'm still learning whenever I get the chance to. I just want to help. You see, whatever you do and how you do it will be unique to you. It will sound like you, as there's no one right way to be culturally considerate. However, your effort to take the time to learn and appreciate cultures outside of your own can have a significant impact, not only on your personal and professional relationships with others, but also on others' well-being and sense of welcome and inclusion in that environment, whether or not anything is even spoken. My hope for you is that you will make the most of Hispanic Heritage Month as an opportunity to learn more about a culture outside of your own. And even if you do identify with Hispanic culture, the variety within that culture provides opportunities for us all to learn more, appreciate more, and value the potential impact that can be had in every relationship we encounter. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening in to today's Diversity Do podcast. If you have any pressing diversity-related questions that you'd like me to address on an upcoming podcast, or if your organization is in need of a shame-free and empowering guest speaker or training on this often sensitive topic, then feel free to reach out to me directly at www.diversitymadesimple.com. If you know anyone else who can benefit from a positive and encouraging perspective on this often sensitive and difficult topic, feel free to send them a link to this podcast so they can be encouraged as well, or share with them my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, available on Amazon.com. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible, at work, at home, and in the community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
It's not just another day in your life. Things are changing for the better. At Comcast, we see those changes, and we're thinking about how we use technology today to live, work, learn, and play. And we're building for the future now, so we're better prepared for the wants and needs of tomorrow. That's why Comcast is rolling out multi-gig internet speeds to more than 50 million homes and businesses before the end of 2025, making our already industry-leading network even faster, smarter, greener, and more reliable. Over the decades, Comcast has been your partner, working hard to serve your community, and will continue to be your partner. We're expanding our gigabits so you can enjoy the tiny bits that matter most.
Would someone you love be at high risk if they got COVID-19? Then be sure to take some steps to keep them safe before you visit. Ask your healthcare provider if you should wear a mask before spending indoor social time with a loved one who's older, has chronic health conditions, or is immunocompromised. And consider self-testing to detect infection before you visit. Even people who are showing no symptoms can have COVID-19 and can unknowingly pass it to others. Do your part to keep your loved ones safe, because for some people, COVID-19 is still a true danger.
Children's Minnesota, the leader in specialized healthcare for kids, is here to raise awareness, standards, the bar, the stakes, the question, the curtain. On raising kids' health to the highest priority, kids need equal access to healthcare, more pediatric expertise, a voice for change. Kids need us, all of us. So let's raise them up. Children's Minnesota, the kid experts.
Hi, I'm Shaletta Brundage. You know what my family and I are doing for MEA weekend? Child, we are going on vacation. And I mean a real vacation. We will not be crisscrossing the state or the country taking my son Andrew to tour college campuses. We found the right fit for him right here in the Twin Cities. It's Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas. This 2-year college will put him on a path to his 4-year degree. With small class sizes, he'll build personal relationships. And I like the free laptops and books. At Doherty Family College, he even gets free bus fare and free breakfast and lunch. This means he won't have to take on debt to get his education. And just think, my son, a Tommy, and me, a Tommy mommy. So for MEA weekend, save yourself some time and travel. Do what we did. Go to dfc.stthomas.edu and set up your own tour at Doherty Family College.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.